Hi, Phil. Coming at you from my desert home in 29 Palms. And, you know, it recently occurred to me that maybe the best way to communicate with you and really explain myself would be through a little video that I could send to you. Yeah, I just had a couple things that I wanted to tell you, and a question, which I'll get to later. So, I know you got my book, and I'm sure you loved it. And that was a big deal for me because, you know, truly after The Reckless Kind, I felt like I was just kind of wandering without a real purpose, you know. Never really ended up getting into any sort of career. I was in a couple bands. I think one you would really like called Cave Flowers, but it was like nothing compared to the shit we were doing in our 20s. That was kind of depressing, to be honest. And then I wrote the book, and I think the book is great, and I think that was, you know, the beginning of the next stage of my life after sort of years of not really having a raison d'etre, as they say. But anyway, the book kind of ended up being just the beginning of all these other projects. And, you know, I've really pushed myself to do different things. I created a variety show that I hosted to sort of promote the book, and some other things, you know, but one really cool and big thing that came out of it was I'm making like a mockumentary. It's kind of like a country rock Spinal Tap. There's a lot of reality in it though, and it kind of goes back and forth between like goofing around and, you know, jokes and whatever, and then reality. And I think like a big part of the film, like a third of the film, is gonna be a plot line in which, you know, my character tries to get the band back together. Classic. And it's important for the film because I think the whole reason this character wrote his book and is trying to be like a famous author is because he's just, you know, he's getting older and he never made it as a rock star and he can't let it go. He can't move on. And so this kind of took the place, and it's sort of a funny plot line in which, like, you know, he's just like, oh, maybe get the band back together, get the boys again, because that, you know, he just, you know, like I said, he was never able to let it go. So we went in the studio and, you know, 2 days, got Brian, hired some people, got a friend that I knew, and we made these songs, and they're really good. And Sean's recording on them as well. So they are really shaping up to be Reckless Kind songs. But they're not going to be Reckless Kind songs without you, of course. Because you were, you know, kind of in a way the whole point of us being so invested in that band was because you're magical voice. And we're all talented, and I think I wrote great material. We all kicked ass on our instruments, of course. But I mean, that's what sets, you know, apart a band that is great and could have been huge with just another local rock and roll band that has a lot of talent. And that's what we saw. And therefore, you know, for the film, it would work incredible if you came back for one more song, or two if you want to do Time and Tequila as well. That would be great. But I kind of created this whole thing in which All Lovers Go to Heaven is the last song I will ever write. And I think it might be true. You know, it's just a goofy narrative of like getting the band back together and like, I'm gonna write one more song and then that's it. Because honestly, I kind of stopped writing songs and I write books now. It's like, you know, for me, it's just better, and I like to move on, let those songwriting years be in the past, you know, and I'm taking those songs and I'm incorporating into the books, so it's kind of like they live on in a even cooler way than, you know, something we threw out in the world 10, 15 years ago and then whatever. So I'm really happy about that. Basically, my dream for this film would be if me and the director could visit you for a total of 5 hours. That's all we'd need. And I'll bring like recording equipment or whatever. I'll get some stuff, bring it, and we'll just get the track or two and film it. And that is this great ending for the movie. And that's it. One more song. And All Lovers Go to Heaven was sort of written in like, I don't know if you remember, we had sort of like that pretty comedic, like kind of like Playboy stuff that we were messing around with, and it was funny. It was very much character, and I kind of was thinking about like an older version of that guy who's just sort of like kind of past that point of like potentially being sexy or whatever, but like just kind of be like corny and like maybe even cringy. Obviously you have to play it down the middle and have a little bit of both, but I just thought it was a really funny song, and I thought like you could like bring it to life and give it that like, you know, that like southern swagger, and like, I don't know, I think it's a pretty cool song. And I mean, it would just be so huge, and it'd be great if you said yes, and if you say no, it'd probably be good to get the no, so I can just shut it down and move on, because I'm going to finish this. I'm going to find an ending. It's just not the ending that I want if I have to like find somebody to do it. And in the movie, it has to be part of the movie that I can't get you to do one more Reckless Kind song, and therefore it, you know, and maybe that'll be great. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, man. Would you do one more song? I think it'll be awesome. It'll be so funny. It'll be so much fun. You know, it really just take a couple hours. And be in and out of your hair. Speaking of hair, if you're still a barber, I would love to get a haircut. I think, you know, it's looking good now, but I think I'll be ready for one soon. If you're free, if you have any openings. But anyway, it's a humbling experience, you know, asking people to remember what we had 15 years ago and see if they'll help me, you know. I think the truth of the matter is that it mattered more to me maybe than anybody else, and I think about it more, and it was a bigger highlight of my life probably to anybody else, and it's kind of embarrassing, you know, but it's just the truth. So that's why I think it you know, it's just humbling, that's all. But I'm gonna ask because I think it's worth asking. And now I'm rambling a little bit, and it's getting hot as fuck. So, yeah, I won't take up any more of your time. Just let me know if we can come shoot this. There are other options if you don't want us to come, you don't want to see me. I would love to see you. If you don't want to see me, but you're like, I could do this, maybe I can send you equipment that would make it really easy. I don't know anything about that shit, but I could try to figure it out. You know, I'd totally be happy to pay somebody out there to do it. I just think this would be an incredible story, and you get to be in a movie, feature film. Don't know where it would be released, but it's a pretty exciting opportunity, right? Maybe. For me, it is. It's been cool. Anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for your time, and just want to say thank you for everything that did happen. Even though it seems like a long time ago, what is a decade anymore, right? It was huge to me. So, and you were a, huge part of that. So, thank you, sir. All right. Peace and love. God bless.